Hi, I'm Madhuri Mandava, co-founder of Pani.earth. Trained as an electrical engineer, but don't do anything about it. I've been working. I co-founded Pani.earth about 2 years ago. Uh, uh, I live here with my family, which is actually my husband, my mother-in-law, and we have two children. Mahesh, who's 18 now, and Om, who's 13, and he's actually a GoodEarth boy. So he grew up, literally born here and grew up here. And Nidhi.
Thank you, Madhuri. I am Nidhi Paliwal, also resident of GoodEarth, co-founder of Pani.earth, and been staying in GoodEarth for last 2 years. Now, in my past life, I was a dentist. I have practiced dentistry almost for 15 years, and I moved in GoodEarth in 2021, and since then, being part of this community. I have two girls. One is Preksha and Sharanya. Preksha is 13, Sharanya is 11. My husband Varun, he works in a multinational company, and we have been blessed to be part of this community.
So if I have to say, how did I actually arrive upon Pani.earth is way back in 2009 when we moved in. Coincidentally, it's not that I wanted to buy by the riverside, but property GoodEarth Orchard, is right by Vrishabhavathy. So quite funny, Nidhi, when you keep talking about, past life, right? I have to go back to, saying that there is a life pre-GoodEarth and post-GoodEarth for me. So I had come into GoodEarth, in 2009. Before that, quite oblivious to what rivers are in Bangalore. Where does my water come from? Where does my sewage go? No idea. And I think when I came into GoodEarth in 2009 was my first connect with Vrishabhavathy. I wouldn't say it's a love at first sight because it is not really something that, it's not a nice thing to look at initially. But when it rained and, when you started hearing stories of people having gone and, washed their tiffin boxes in it, swam in it, that's when, you started getting intrigued about it and saying, what is this river about? And that's how my, the whole thing for Pani.earth started way back then. Many things that I've done in the process, but just to share, that the past life was where I lived in the US for a long time and then returned back to India and moved into GoodEarth looking for a home where my children can have connect with nature. And that is one of the biggest premise for moving into GoodEarth. And if I ask my younger one, if he comes here, for him, it's all about how the community it was just one large community. And that's what I think inspires me to do whatever I do even today, actually.
Yeah, correct. I agree with you, Madhuri. I think past life where I used to stay before GoodEarth was in Belandur. And Belandur was an equal and more, I would say. We were just next to on the banks of Belandur. And the constant question of what is happening to the lake and where everybody is talking about Kengeri water and we are talking about the sewage, we are saying this is a septic tank. What exactly is happening? Why a huge septic tank is being created in the middle of the city is where my journey started, the questioning of where this water comes from. And I met Dr. Yellappa Reddy in IIM. He was giving one of the lectures, and I was lucky enough that I was in that lecture where I heard about how he is working on conservation of nature and steps he is taking. So I just wanted to be with him, around him, to understand that what he is doing with respect to conservation of nature. And as I went through and we met Nirmala Gowda, who is also the co-founder of Pani.earth, and I met her, and then we started doing our own inquiry on the rivers, and that was where we were tracing every single drain which was passing from nearby us, and where does it go, where does the water flow, trying to understand the hydrology. Like, we were just citizens. We didn't know anything from where to start. We started drawing maps with our hands. And I was in Belandur catchment. Nirmala used to stay in Vrishabhavathy catchment. When I say catchment, these are two separate rivers which are being feeding and around Bangalore. These are the rivers of Bangalore. And We were lucky enough that in one of the seminars, Madhuri heard Nirmala speaking, and then we all three came together and we started working together. So during our journey, we were able to understand when we draw things, we were drawing things and we were trying to put things spatially, we were able to understand better that from where the river is originating, where the water is coming from, where is it going. So that was our initial journey to understand these rivers and rains, and eventually it led to a bigger, larger cause of conservation of these rivers and foundation of Pani.earth happened.
But you should share about how you moved into GoodEarth. It was like she came to drop me, and that's when she fell in love with this community.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the next year she moved in actually into the thing.
Completely. I was in awe, like how beautiful this community is. Can there be a place in Bangalore, something like this? I was like, where are you staying? Then me and my husband, we were trying to understand if we can find any place for rent in this community. And I requested Madhuri, and with help, we were able to find something, and now I'm staying in residence.
So if you have to talk about, why did we start Pani.earth, is like, you can see Vrishabhavathy flowing right next to GoodEarth, but you don't know where it actually originates. What are the different things that contribute to the state of the river? Where does it actually go and meet? Did you know that Vrishabhavathy meets Arkavati river, Arkavati which originates in Nandi Hills, and Arkavati flows down and meets Kaveri at Sangama. I mean, we all have visited the Gali Jungle Lodges spot. That's actually very close to where Arkavati river, which is, Vrishabhavathy and Arkavati joining Kaveri. So I think one of the things that we tried to do with Pani.earth is create a citizens platform which explains to citizens in a simpler manner about where do these rivers originate, what is ailing them, and defining the clear, concise problem statement, saying what ails these rivers, because if you want to restore them, you need to know what is the problem. You cannot be just treating symptoms, constantly saying, oh, it's black, it's dirty, I will do something here, but the problem originates upstream. So how do you actually identify that? So Pani.earth is a platform where the three of us, me, Nidhi and Nirmala, who is not a resident of GoodEarth, we all got together and we are trying to put this platform together. It's an open source platform which we will be introducing to GoodEarth, the other residents in a bigger way. We did have conversations, but we do make it a point that we are reviving the Kambipura lake, which is part of the Vrishabhavathy catchment, and we as GoodEarth residents got involved with other communities, and we do show our maps. They're saying, do you know how Kambipura lake connects to Kaveri river? And that's a question that we asked one of the school students, and she was like, does it connect to the Kaveri river? And we had to explain to her. That was something that I remember, enjoying that joy that she had.
Yeah. She was very excited to know how these rivers are all interconnected, and not only the rivers. I feel that each and every lake is a small pearl which has been intertwined, and they are coming together with the rivers, and they finally go and join, in our case, to Kaveri, to understand that what is happening to the river next to you. And the disconnect we saw of the citizens, especially in urban area, was quite a bit. So Vrishabhavathy, which is flowing next to us, we care little less about it compared to the river like Kaveri, which is providing us drinking water. At one point in time, we were taking drinking water from Arkavati. That was our drinking water source, right, Madhuri?
Yeah.
And eventually we have literally degraded that river, has gone dead. There are multiple dams built on that river. This all we discovered not only by the research which we did on the ground, we did through the government documents, through the historical documents, whatever were present. And now we are able to put them together. We are trying to put them together and to understand more. And we are still in the process of understanding that what is actually happening with the rivers which are more close to us. We are not thinking about them, and we really think about the rivers which are little very far off. So isn't that adding cost when we get the water from so far? And if we maintain these rivers, this was at one point in time where people would bathe, they would have their picnics and good times around.
I mean, we remember, residents living right next to Orchard who shared stories about how, they actually swam in the river, and that's not like a far distant past. So why can't we envision that future? So all that we feel is that, you understand what's ailing the river, which are multiple causes, and how, as you, a person living in Bangalore, connected to that problem. So understand where your waste goes, understand where your sewage goes, and start, turning off those taps. Every tap that's turned off is a cleaner river, which may not look crystal clear today, but as you turn off those taps, you will see a cleaner river, maybe not in this generation, but the next generation, and we owe it to them. So what we are trying to do as Pani.earth is putting this platform together so that this knowledge and this discovery that we have, three of us, actually trekking through rivers and looking at different things, is to create that platform to, initiate that dialogue about our rivers, and that is the starting step to seeing this river clean, maybe a couple of decades down the line. But this is the seed that we are trying to put into every person that we meet along. And we do engage a lot with the colleges right now, RV College and all of that, because we see that if we present the problem to them in a holistic manner, and we do not care about these rivers, and all that we do is abuse them, but we go and get water from Netravati, which is 260 kilometers away, because we want clean water for Bangalore. I think this is not sustainable. So we try to do with the community here is, we're all into wildlife actually. We want to do something for the wildlife. And what is the water that the wildlife are drinking in the Kengeri Wildlife Sanctuary is this water that goes down, and the animals there do not have RO filters like us, do not have anything that's set up. So that is the thing. That's why we mark protected areas on our maps to tell people, saying what happens, to what is the impact we have with our water.
Yes.
Right? Like that's one of the things that we discovered when we go to Mekedatu. This is the water that goes and pollutes Mekedatu. So can we just go on like this? That's a question, burning question, and that's why we are trying to constantly share all our things in the form of maps and posing that question constantly, saying, can we let things be?